Hey guys, it's your bros here from Gold Dang Bros Gaming. I'm out here in Akron, Ohio, getting ready to head up to Cleveland for the Professor Conference. Tiger's back home in West Virginia on his rest day from a very busy schedule we're going to get into. But welcome to episode 21 of the Lucky Draw podcast. As always, we're consistent about bringing you guys content no matter where we are, getting it recorded, and this should be published out for you on Friday. So, like we were talking about, busy schedule. Our big topic for this podcast here is the locals race to zero. As you guys can see over there on Tiger's screen, he's got a weekly planner full of events, and that's just from between now and August. So that way he can get ready for Worlds and be prepared for whatever matchup runs his way. So to pass the mic off, how do you feel about that busy schedule, Tiger, and the aggro push for points as our title for the episode is?
Yeah, no, I definitely think, like I've said it before, it's a race back to zero. And my girlfriend actually titled the planner race to zero before Worlds. And for any of you that don't understand what that phrase means, essentially after, let's just say, everybody in the running that wants to go to Worlds hits max local, so that's 4 cups and 4 challenges at first place, 260 points. Effectively, you're all back to 0 points because the only thing that makes a difference at that point is your regional points.
Mhm.
So it's just a race back to zero. So your regional points make a bigger difference because if you and let's say your best friend are both at 200 points because you have it capped out completely, and he gets a uh, let's say a top uh 32, and you got a top 64, and then you rush and go get 40 points from locals to catch up to him, and then he does it, he's still back ahead of you. That extra 40 points that you got from locals didn't change anything the moment he gets it as well. So effectively, locals means nothing after everybody caps them out.
Yeah, and
And
to
this is
clarify,
just us trying to,
go ahead. Go ahead, Tiger. You were I didn't I thought you were done, my
like I
bad.
say, this is just us. Yeah, this is just us trying to get out of the way because I don't really want to be doing locals. I don't want to be traveling to other states in the middle of the season when I'm trying to prepare for another regional. Like it just doesn't make as much sense if we can just get 80% of it done now and then just do a couple locals at the end of the year to clean up some cups or challenges.
Yeah, and for those that don't know, we're based out of West Virginia right now, so the cups that are in the area are sometimes, first off, not many, and then as anybody else may know in your local scene, when you've played with a lot of the same people, it can make the matchups kind of tough because we're always working with these guys. They know what we're playing, and we want them to bring the best every time they come and play. And unfortunately, that means not every single cup here in West Virginia is crowned by the same person.
Correct. That's like what is it? I On my way back from my vacation over the 4th, we stopped at a cup in Ohio. I went undefeated until finals with the poison gouging fire deck that we've been showing you guys, and then went to a cup a challenge the next day playing the same deck and went 3-2. So like one people knew what I was playing because that's what I had with me, and when they saw I was there, they flipped to a different deck. Not saying that that was like targeted specifically because of who I am, but I'm an outsider in their area, and they're like, "Oh, we don't want an outsider to win. We also don't want a guy who is qualified to come uh, point chasing in our area." So they all flipped to a bunch of big basics, which was a hard matchup for the deck. And then what is it? Yesterday, I went to a challenge with Iron Thorn's Dragapult and went undefeated with that in the challenge,
That is a very tough
beating
one.
some of the harder matchups such as Terrabox and like Zardpult. So like it just really depends. Sometimes you can hit it and sometimes you can't. So going to more just gives you more chances to win.
Yeah, and on that last point with the Thorns Bolt, I know we'll get into that a little bit later when we get into our meta builds. Like that one is definitely crazy to deal with right now because again, it was something that wasn't around. You go to a cup in a different area and you show up with Thorns Bolt and they're just like, "Oh, what? What's this?" And again,
Haven't
that's
tested that one. What do I do?
exactly. So shutting down the abilities on ability heavy driven decks makes the difference. But the main point driving back to that, we don't want to say that locals aren't important. Locals are just as important as they always are, participating in constantly. I mean, if you got a weekly league, that's only going to make you better. If you can get to more than once a week, that's only going to make you even better. From a coach of
Oh, 100%.
many sports, the more outings, the more practices, the more people you experience yourself around, different players, the better you're going to get. So hopefully you're able to have that time to have a group, either small or large, to get better with. But the race back to zero essentially puts a lot of pressure on that regional schedule. Back to last week's episode, how much can you really do? How much can you afford?
Correct. And yes, just to reiterate what Sean was saying, us saying the race to zero does not mean don't go to your locals. This is just us saying that in the competitive world, at some point, locals don't really affect your placement anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're somebody like Brent Tonneson or Azul or Henry Chow, who are winning events that it doesn't matter if they play their locals. This is for the 2% players, including myself, the bottom 75 of the top 150 players. The locals still matter to players like us going to events. That extra 240 points, I wouldn't have made it to Worlds if I didn't do it, even though I had 5 day twos last season. So it
Definitely
is still important. So please do not think that we're saying it's not important.
definitely necessary. So, moving on from there, we do have some big news with Goldang Bros and online tournaments. I don't know if anybody was paying attention over the past week. We had fired up our online tournaments. If anybody played in the Reach for the Stars series about a couple years ago, I think it was 24 was the last one we had a tournament and started them in 23. An online series where players can play from around the world. We specialized in having 2 times, and the reason we do that is noon and 6, or 7, I'm sorry, noon and 7 actually work really well with our global and international players. And then on the 7 p.m. side, we noticed a lot of people from West Coast, if they could, were able to get off work or be free around 4, play in a tournament, and still have their night. Um, but yeah, this
Mm-hmm.
tournament series can be found on Limitless. All right. It's not up yet because I need to get it published and everything like that. And the second it gets published, it's going to get capped out. And we got one thing to discuss on whether we push to 8 rounds or not. Me and my staff are talking. It would still keep us out of a top cut, only add about possible 35 minutes to the tournament. Would that get everybody into the tournament without a wait list? That's the big question. So once we determine that answer, we may wait one more week and see if it stays the same. We have the same input, I should say, not output, but input of maxed out tournaments. I mean, noon maxed out at 136, so that gave it a 8-person wait list, and 7 p.m. got up to 207 players checked in and ready to rock, with only 128 being 15.
Right. So that leads us with can we get another thing is if any of you guys want to be part of this, we could always use an extra judge or two to help with calls, which would make it easier for us to have a bigger event. When there's only a 1 to 3 of us running a whole 200-person event, there's a lot of calls that we might be able to miss. So any of the outsiders that are trying to help out the bros or just get some extra experience to put on your judge resume, reaching out to Shawn for this could really help everybody. You get the experience, we get an extra judge to help with judge calls, we get a couple extra rounds in an event, we get more people to play. So keep that in mind, guys. If you want to do more stuff, there's room to do it. Reaching out to the people is how you get there.
Yeah, I don't know anybody on here who may be watching that's a judge or has applied for an event. They do ask you in that what you do outside of regionals. It's not always about what you've done on the regional floor, your experience, where you've been, what you've done, who you know. They do ask what your involvement is in the community. Local scene online is huge. I really feel heavily back when we started the online tournaments. That's another reason why I was able to get staffed as many times as I was, because I was showing the commitment to the community to grow it from local, online, and regional. Trying to give and Tiger can attest to this, a regional like simulation with live on your computer slash phone, little screens everywhere. But again, with glitches and live itself, it can be tough.
Yeah, like I said, guys, if you have a problem in the game, especially in the first turn because of like regional maintenance or whatever, instantly request a judge. We can fix that problem. But if you wait 10 minutes and then be like, hey, my game crashed, what do I do? We can't fix it. That's too much time that's already elapsed. But with 35 minutes total, and if you get in, check in, start the game, and it instantly crashed, or you picked the wrong deck, that's something we can simply fix. It's an easy way for us to just be like, all right, cool. Here you go. Restart the match. It happens. You have 30 minutes left. We can fix that. But the biggest thing is remembering to just hit request a judge. If you don't do that, we can't fix it.
Yeah, for example, we had one ball where someone said is 2 minutes left in the round, and they were on it about slow play, and I was like, "Well, when did this slow play occur?" And they were like, "Well, it happened about 10 minutes ago." I was like, "Did you write a judge?" It's like, "No, I wrote in the chat and asked them to play faster." I was like, "Did they play faster?" They said no. Okay, why didn't you call a judge? Like, even if I just see the request, leave it running, so that way I can monitor that match, maybe hop in the chat, see if there's any way I can speed it up. On the flip side, there was a slow play call that someone called it correctly. I think there was like 28, 27 minutes left in the round. Mind you, we have 35 total minutes in our round, check-in time included, so that way you can get playing and rocking. That's the idea there. So they had been playing for roughly
Mm-hmm.
maybe 8 minutes if they got started right at the time. And they said something about slow play. They reached out to me. Uh, I wasn't running this tournament, but the other judge that was, Nicole, hopped in, got him on, said something, and they moved it, their play up a little bit quicker. Sometimes that's all it needs, a little intervention, to get the game moving. Because again, we have ties in here for points, but nobody wants to tie this thing out. Ties don't win you a tournament. Ties are okay in some certain situations, but the idea is not to stack them up. If people are playing cards to progress the game but not progress them, there's a big difference. Like I said, I'll put a little note on there. Maybe we'll re-record that part specifically because it was very important. I'm sorry. I apologize for my internet connection wants to like be fine and then bog out all of a sudden. Um, but like I said, we're committed to bringing you the content. So on the tournaments themselves, I have some notes here. So yeah, they both capped out. We had lots of countries represented in the noon. I mean, I think there was definitely more outside of North American players than there was in North American in that tournament. Given that it was noon, a lot of people working. West Coast, it's super early. Um, the meta wasn't bad. I mean, the top eight for the first one. I'm to put up my phone. Don't want to try to bog that computer down anymore. So in the meta there,
Yeah.
we had Hop
I can probably
Snorlax
look it up
from
one time.
Zing. Yeah, you can follow along too. Winning it. Ogre Bolt coming up in second. You had a Dragapult, Pidgeysard, Joltik Box, Ogre Pond, and then a Slow King build rounding out the top eight of the weekly number one.
That's wild. A slow king in top eight.
Any crazy ideas there on the top eight before we move to the meta on number one there, Tiger?
I mean, having a slow king and a hops is probably the wildest thing there. Um, Everybody was excited for hops. They all thought it was going to be the new Buzzwole remake, and it kind of is, but kind of not. Um, the perfect build still has eluded people. I do think it does have good stuff going, and like can win matches and could even win an event if we can figure out the right 60.
Yeah.
Um, which will bring us up to we talk about some newer decks, something that we've been working on in the Godang Bros kitchen. But as of for that, yeah, those two are the only things that really stick out to me. Um, But like I said, Slow King, I don't think will ever win an event. It has day two a couple times. Um, but other than that, yeah, that's all seems out of place. Hops winning. I am here for Hops winning though.
Okay. And then looking at the meta here, you had Gardevoir up top with the actually Guardian and Raging Bolt were pretty close with a 10.9 and 10.1 share. You had Dragapult there at 7.8, Joltik Box at 7.3, actually tied with I guess, a standalone Dragapult, which would be the non-Dusknoir Dragapult at
Yeah, the
7.03.
slow Bolt.
Mm-hmm. And then actually tied there too was Grimmsnarl Flosslass. So to summarize, you got Guardy up top, Raging Bolt right below it, Dragapult Dusknoir builds, and then in tied for which what would be what fifth place? All three of them,
Mm-hmm.
Joltik Box, Dragapult, and the Frozen Monkey Turds, as we've called it.
Frozen dog poop.
Oh yeah, that's a different one, but like
Yeah, it is technically different. We'll get into that later, guys. We'll sneak preview.
but that meta doesn't surprise me at all. Does it surprise you, Tiger?
No, no, not at all. That
All
one
right.
seems pretty standard for what's been
Yeah.
going on right now.
Well, I mean, and also from number one, we did realize maintenance happens, and that was kind of rough. Shut our tournament down for about 10 minutes. But again, back to like Tiger was saying with the judge calls earlier, let us know what's going on. Don't sit around twiddling your thumbs, being like, I don't know what's going to happen. Hopefully, I just wait and win this game. No, let us know because I got like 19 judge calls all at once trying to say people couldn't play their game.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I knew, oh no, there's something bigger. For those in the tournament, again, I don't want you to feel like I wasn't paying attention to the chat at that point or the judge calls. I was a bigger overlying issue. Taking care of that would take care of all those judge calls. Asides from that, though, it ran fine. We'll definitely look forward to that in the future for if there is possible maintenance, maybe throwing in a protocol, um, in case it does happen. Because it
Right.
wasn't
Something simple as
scheduled. It,
I was gonna say, yeah, something as simple as a break, let everybody like reset. Will resetting the round after X amount of time, something little like that that people can understand things happen and give the maintenance time to finish.
Yeah, because I mean, I know I don't play live as much as a lot of other people, but I have gotten on the past few days, and I didn't see a big time for where it said at this time it's going on a routine maintenance and it will be down. It just said routine maintenance is possible, da da da. So I mean, we're all playing with that same info message.
Correct.
Um, Moving on, we got the weekly draw number two. We had 207 registrations, which was huge. Um, had a few uh professional, players to say, people who do this full time and play a lot of cards in the tournament. Um, Being Zach Pra was one. We had Azul was also in the tournament taking part. We appreciate it. I mean, we hope to be something that those players, along with people, anybody, everybody can play in and also test their strength. So sitting up top, we had Madi. Hopefully, I don't say that wrong. With a Pidgeysard going undefeated, undisputed champion for the lucky draw number two, which was a strong deck. It actually had the best win percentage in lucky draw number one as well. It just didn't get to the top like this one did. Um, then we also had a well, Raging Bolt by Zach Pra coming in second. After that, you had another Pidgeysard, Raging Bolt, Grimmsnarl Floshlass, Dragapult Dango. Whoever's calling it Pango needs to stop calling it Pango. It's not Pango.
Yeah, I don't understand where this Pengo comes from. Pult
Yeah,
Dango doesn't. No, I'm not a
no.
fan of it.
I'm putting
Dragadango, Gold Goldangapult, anything is better than freaking Pengo. Like
I mean,
I don't understand where that started and why it
I
started.
I
So
will
please,
sit here
people,
and
stop.
I will sit here and attest. You can go back to our YouTube videos. We were one of the first crews, at least, to publicly be working on Goldango Dragapult before it was even a thing, because I just wanted a better Goldango to play because everybody was beating me. Okay, because they figured it out. but it is not Pango, people. It is not Pango. Um,
Yeah, no, it
it's not. Um, and then rounding that out, top in seventh place we had a Drag Ball Dustnor, and then a Slowpolt from our very own James Hodgkins in eighth place. Congratulations! It's
he's one of
awesome to
our
show up.
Canadian bros.
Yes. Let's see. Now we go over the share here. So very different. You had 14% Grimmsnarl Frostlass, uh almost 10% at 9.3 Raging Bolt, 7.8 Gardevoir, 7.3 or 7 just 7 Dragapult Charizard. And then they kind of get crazy. You got other. I just assume a lot of people playing some rogue decks or whatever their build is. Um, Dragapult Dusknoir at 6%, and then Charizard Pidgeot. I mean, I think that's relevant because it did win at a 5.4%. So how's that compare? Any surprises there, Tiger?
Um, I think more and more people are realizing Charizard's still good. If like the biggest thing is making sure your TM Evos are in there, like Gabriel Fernandez did for NAIC. Charizard is still a good deck. Play your Evos, play a couple candies, call it a day, and understand that uh, you can't beat everything. So if you enjoy the deck and it has a good spread, do it because
Yeah.
Charizard should beat Gardevoir. Charizard should beat all the big basic decks. Charizard should beat anything that takes more than 3 turn. Anything that doesn't one shot Charizard, in theory, other
Which is pretty
than
hard. I
Dragapult, because
mean,
yeah, it is extremely hard other than using Dusknoirs, or uh like Dragapult will two shot it, but it will two shot and get 4 prizes. There's a difference though. It's spreads, which that's what makes it so much better. Um Also having the Dust Noir to just kind of board wipe. It'll item lock for a couple turns and then just take a bunch of KOs. That's the one thing that Charizard struggles with is people who don't want to take prizes.
and then last question for you on that one. Anything comparing between the two, time wise, what do you think makes the difference in the meta? From it, is it global? Is it the international players?
I will say yes for the um, European players don't play as hardline meta as a whole as Americans do. It might be because we have more players, so they under the overall more players means that we have more people trying to win, so they play the best that they think they can with the best decks. And in EU and in like Australia and things like that, where there's but especially Australia. Australia has very limited players. They have a very strong community, but the other than like the top 15 Australian players, they're not as competitive as the average American or European, and that does make a difference. The higher level of competitiveness, and also being online, there's nothing at stake other than some codes and going to for us the invitational event that we're going to do.
Yeah. Like I said, that one's gonna be have some prizes, physical, actual prizes, and stuff that we give out that we like to do. It's gonna be kind of a best of the best. I know we've had a lot of questions on the qualifications. I mean, it is kind of best of best. You need to top a weekly to get into the quarterly. There's two weeklies a week, so that's two. Multiply that by four, that's eight. So 8 players every month. Now you got 3 months and a quarter. So now you got 24 players going in to get top eight to play in the finale worlds, if you say. I mean, it's going to correlate with about this time next year is the plan. So that way we get back from NAIC, we're hyped up for worlds. Then we can have you good bit of exclusive Pokemon Center merch, stuff from NAIC, staff swag. I mean, you name it, we're gonna find it. We just want you to be there. The only way to get in there is play in one of the weeklies, and I know it's tough, but top it. Play weekend, play week out, take a break, come back, find your way to the top, get into our finale.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. The only extra thing on that we want to note is that unlike in the regular events uh, of like regionals, we are doing a pass down system because the only way to get into the
Mhm.
invitational is with a win. So if somebody wins multiple events, second place will get the invite.
Yeah, the next one down. If first place, second place, third place all got it, and whatever crazy situation happens, fourth place will get it. We want a as full of tournament in the quarterly and finale, and those will be longer. Everybody's like, we want top cut. I don't want to be on the computer for 3 hours, and I'm not sure most of my staff do after the first phase is over. So that's the reason why we don't do top cut on the weeklies. We may push it to 8. Like I said, we talked about that. But these quarterlies would have a top cut. The finale will have a top cut. We'll be best of 3. We'll give you that chance to cut out the variables of, man, live messed me up, or, you know, this and that. You'll be in a little more, I guess, calmer environment, more time, picking your heads or tails, manipulating the system. We've done that before on live, so that way you get the call. So if your deck traditionally runs second, you got going first, you had a bad game, you didn't just lose out of the tournament because of a coin flip. You've got the chance to get your choice, play your game from your best position, or at least from what you thought. Now, we all know how this game goes. You may still lose that next game, but you put
Correct.
yourself in a position to cover a little more of those variables.
Yeah, understanding that we do get it. We like Top Cut as well, but from having people all over the country running this event, it doesn't always line up correctly. So like for us on East Coast, if we get up and go at 8 a.m. to go start doing work, and then we run you an event at 7 p.m. at night, and that takes us 5 hours to 6 hours because we added a top cut, we're not getting done until midnight or 1 in the morning, and then having to go do our regular lives as well. So we get it. We understand that more Pokemon is good and whatnot, and we do get it that the California players, they're starting at 4, so 6 hours is only 10 p.m. for that. But those are some of the things that we get with being an East Coast team running an event. That time frame is a lot of it. So we will make sure that when we do these bigger events, that we do a lot for BO3 and we do a lot for the time frame differences of other players.
All right, so that's pretty well covers the tournament. That covers about the time I wanted to put on that. We got one more topic aside from what we're doing the rest of this week here. So Tiger, did we just have a testing video go live last week?
We did. We had our second testing video go live last week. We had the gouging fire versus Maridon versus Thorns Polt. And then it was Thorns Bolt versus Maridon for the last game. So like for anybody who is interested in watching that or goes and sees it and wants the 60s, we are more than happy to share the 60s. We're not paywalling our gameplay, our deck list, any of that nature. It makes me excited that people want to play the 60 or test it. Also, we're just happy that people are enjoying the content. So go give it a check out, a like, a follow, a share. Tell us that this deck was trash. Tell us that you want to see something else. Whatever it may be, we're here for it. Uh, Keep it friendly though. Make it jokingly that you don't like the deck, but you can let us know that you want to see something else.
Yeah, and to Tiger's last effect there, to let us know. I mean, the outreach is growing. We're hearing more about the content. We're seeing the views. We're seeing what's getting seen. People like tabletop. Cool thing about the tabletop live is even if you can't catch it live, it's still a recorded video that is on our channel. I started up a new playlist
Correct.
for tabletop. So once they get uploaded and finalized, it takes YouTube a little bit after it goes live to actually get up there. But yeah, you can find those in the tabletop tab. Me and Tiger have talked a bunch of times. We're gonna keep on that. That's for sure. People so far like the podcast weekly, and people like the tabletop. We want to keep doing what people want to see and improve it.
For anybody who is going to see this tomorrow, um, you might be able to catch another extra video. My girlfriend's been asking to do some tabletop So we might just record some tabletop as well anyway.
Perfect.
See some extra decks on there. Might not be top level gameplay because this is her first season, but people like watching decks, especially things that they don't get to see very often.
No, going back on that, like I know it may not be top play, and as we've always said, I'm judge first and player. I mean, my play's getting better, but even in our tabletop play, there is that first Maridon game I got, didn't get Tandem Unit, and my whole plan was like, what do I do? So I mean,
Hmm.
even people that have been exposed to the game for 8 years, really competitively too. It all depends on what side you take it. Me taking it more judge side, I've been trying to lean a little less from that and get into the play side so that way I can help the team out better. But any play watched, my main point was any play watched is still good play. If you see a move that I make on tabletop and you're like, why would Shawn make that move? Please investigate. Hopefully that helps you not make that move in the future. Let me make my mistakes for you.
Correct. Leaving messages on the videos like, "Hey, if you would have done this on this turn, you could have won, or you would have not lost XYZ cards." Like, put that there. We can talk about it. We will respond and let you guys know why we did X, Y, or Z. And if we go back and watch it and was like, "Yeah, no, you're just completely right," we're gonna let you know.
Yeah, 100%. And that's only going to make us better, the community better. Anybody that has a chance to see that video, it'll make them better. Um, Everybody's been in like big meetings or things like that with work or school, and everybody always has that same question, but there's always like that silence where nobody asks it. And then that one person steps up and asks that one question that 50% of the room had on their mind, and everybody's like, oh, okay, be that one person.
Hmm.
Ask that one question.
Yep. It takes one person to start a movement.
Yep. So that was the last topic. So the only other thing I wanted to talk about today is what's next for the bros. Not a lot competition wise for regional. I mean, obviously we're kind of in that spot where locals are picking back up. Like we talked about, our topic is the race back to zero, chase back to zero. Um, Lots on Tiger's schedule here. Tiger, why don't you go through a little bit of what you got going on here, at least in the foreseeable couple days? I mean, I know you got your whole month of August planned out. He just lifts it up.
Yes.
He's like, that's one way
I
to do
guess
it.
so today is I've just got some tabletop with Carly, like I was telling you guys. Um Friday is a challenge that we'll be going to. Saturday is a cup and challenge day. If we bomb the cup, we go to the challenge type thing. And then Sunday is another cup. So and then on Monday, our home store is having a challenge that we want to make sure that we get to and represent our home locals. But yeah, no, I don't. I Let me look at that again. I don't think I have a break until next Wednesday of going to events, and then after that, I don't have one until the following Monday, and that's just because I have to take her to go to the airport.
But that
So
means people,
yeah, there's a
Chef Tiger will have a lot in the kitchen because he'll be doing nothing but throwing shiny cardboard on the table.
correct. Which also means that any of these days off that Sean has will be up here as well and going to
Hmm.
some cups and challenges as can
Yeah,
be.
as much as I can. I mean, between judging and trying to turn this into I don't want to say full time job because too many people say you play Pokemon full time. I was like, I do a lot of things and trying to make it all work together in one. That way I can continue to do what I want to do in this life and also help other people do what they want to do in this life. Um, so it's a little different, but I do still have to work. But aside from me working and stuff like that, I'm a night owl. I always try to make it up there as many tournaments as I can. I'll be at.
Oh, speaking of which, I forgot. At the challenge I went to the other day, I actually the finals guy that I hit. Um, it was Thorns Polt versus Terrabox. Both of us undefeated until finals. Um, Thorns kind of just shut it down. I prized both Dragapults. Um, of course they didn't know that. But they went for a torrential pump on two Dracloaks, and then they got stuck in the water because I went Iron Thorn's Watchtower, and that just shut off the Noctowls, and it shut off their Fez, and it shut off their Teal Dance, so they couldn't. couldn't draw cards. Um, and he was just kind of dead in the water. So we spent 20 minutes talking about the fact that he really enjoyed the last episode of us talking about the pay to win worlds. So it was really cool meeting somebody who I've never met before in person like that. Or if I have, I do apologize that I didn't remember you. I do travel a lot and talk to a lot of players. Uh, they enjoyed the content. It was really humbling actually meeting somebody who listened to what we talk about and enjoys the things that we do for the community and on the podcast. So I do really, really appreciate anybody and everybody. And if you guys do see us anywhere, tell us about it. Like
Yeah.
that makes us more excited than anything to hear that you guys like what we do.
Yeah, no, I had that same feeling Tiger's describing, and without going back in detail, I get that all the time on my with my regional locals, as I call it, the people that I always see at regionals from past 2 years being at least 85% of all tournaments. People are always like, "Hey, I saw you in Charlotte," or "Hey, you were in Atlanta." I was like, "Yeah, if it was a gaming gen event, I was there. I was at all of them." But no, that feeling is good. Please reach out to us anytime if you see us just milling about. Um, Getting ready to record anything, don't be afraid to tap us on the shoulder and be like, hey, and introduce yourself. Um, but yeah, for my week, I got some GLC up here in Akron. For all of you
Whoop
out there
whoop.
that know,
Like,
Full Grip is the main hub, one of the main hubs for GLC tabletop when it comes to like competitiveness, players actually playing, and like actually having a good bit of people show up for it instead of a few. At least that's what I'm used to in West Virginia. But no, I'm
yeah, not
excited to.
many of us play the old Gleck.
Nope, nope, not many play the Gleck. But anyways, I'm gonna take the Jungle Titans out for a stroll. Hopefully not get Marnied and end. And as soon as I find everything and get set up, that's what happens. I'm sure I'll have more on it on my Twitter, or maybe even for next episode. But yeah, then Professor Conference this weekend. I'm stoked. Get to see a bunch of my friends that judge around with on all the regionals. A lot of people traveling in. Cleveland's kind of an easy place for some people to get to. Yeah, I mean, I can't explain if you haven't been part of a professor seminar or professor conference. Seminar is kind of like the smaller version that they have at regionals. A conference is a little bit bigger, usually takes up the weekend. For this one, that's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which is kind of cool. So we get free passes into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We'll get to walk around, see stuff, take pictures, happy jazz like that. Um, and again, hang out with friends, chill out, learn more about Pokemon. Essentially, they go through from your basics to your upper level judge stuff, strategies, what to do in this situation. So again, if anybody out there is watching, they're a judge, they haven't been to a seminar or a conference, next time one pops up, hop on it, get on it quick. They fill up fast. People want to go to. There's hundreds of professors out there now, hundreds.
Oh, I'd put it closer to thousands of judges now.
Well,
Like,
okay, yeah, I mean definitely thousands, but I want to say hundreds that are competing. I don't want to say competing for a spot. That sounds bad. But competing to be in a slot to go to the conference. You know what I mean? And when they only have 100 slots or whatever it is, and there's like even if at your number of thousands, Tiger, think about the numbers of how many people are actually getting into
right. That's the best of the best judges right there. And
that.
we've got our number one, the Grookey judge, the Goldang Bros manager, the one and only Shawn Taylor gets to go to all of them.
101 for sure. But yeah, that's about all we really have for you today, guys. Like I said, it was big episode. Going back to the topic was the locals chase back to zero. Make sure you guys go to your locals though. Um, that's how the game starts. That's where the game's fostered. It's where everybody learns to play. But that doesn't take away. Damn, the sun's getting yeah. That doesn't take away from using your locals. Sorry, I'm trying to. The sun's moving on me.
Hey,
Um,
don't take your hat off. It's gonna blind everybody.
oh yeah, I don't want to do that. Hey, Spawn! Everybody's seen that SpongeBob episode, right? Right? That would be me. That would be me right now. I could see it in the comments. It would be crazy. Please, if someone is listening to this, put it in the comments. I want to see who's paying attention.
Yes. The Black Mr. Clean over here. The
Pretty
SpongeBob man
much.
himself.
But yeah, I think that's it for me, Tiger, unless you got any final parting notes for our viewers out there or anybody watching.
Um, Not a whole lot. Just remember, guys, like we do call it the race to zero, but it's not actually a true race. Do it at your own pace. Go have fun at locals. If you want to travel and get a little extra done, that's cool. But it's not going to change how locals work or how getting your CP works. If you get it done faster, cool. You don't have to worry about it at the end of the year. If you get a challenge finish every 3 months, cool. I am proud of you guys for going out and putting in the work to get those finishes for cups or challenges at all. 200 points for those. The trainer, I think it's Ace Trainer, is still 200 points this season, and I
Yeah,
want to see how many people who can get it this year. But
there
other
we
than
go.
that, no, I got nothing to finish off.
All right, so Tiger challenges all you out there to get to your 200. Make that at least your goal. Get those ace trainers for collection, for whatever you want to do with them. Um, but yeah, I hope to see you guys all out there.